Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller. Today is Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. Joining me off camera this week, I would say as always, but they're not always here, Dad and Amy.
Hello. Hello.
Not a very enthusiastic hello, but nonetheless, they are here this week. And I will move this fan out of the way. I hope you all had a wonderful week. My week was very long and strenuous and kind of sad, kind of happy. It was a mix of emotions, and here I am for another Sunday. Well, first of all, I'll get to you. How was your week, Dad?
Stressful.
It was what?
Worried.
Stressful?
Stressful and worried.
There's a lot
On my mind.
A lot of things have happened. Amy, how was your week?
Oh, stressful, but made it through it.
Yeah, I can attest to what they're saying because we've all been feeling some stress. Last week was a very, like I said, a lot of mixed emotions. There were some good, some bad. I'll get to the bad first because couple family members are currently hospitalized. My cousin, I have a cousin who has spina bifida, and he's currently hospitalized at Sparrow in Lansing, and he's retaining fluid in his lungs. He's in his late 20s, early 30s, I think. He's a young guy. He's had health issues for, might as well say, all of his life, and he's in the ICU. His lungs are retaining fluid, and they've been he's on a ventilator, and the other day they took him off the ventilator to see if he could breathe on his own, and if not, then they put him back on the ventilator. I haven't heard anything about the same. So did they take the ventilator off?
They did, but they had to put it back on.
Yeah.
Now they're checking the shunt.
Yeah. So we got that going on. It's not looking very good for my cousin. And then I have another cousin. She had a massive stroke, and she is at Mid-Michigan Health in Midland being treated for stroke recovery. And if neither one of these cousins, if their health doesn't improve, they're both going to end up in Ann Arbor at U of M. That's the way it's looking.
I did hear that Annette would be going to Alma.
Oh, Alma.
Rehabilitation, because she is starting to improve a little bit.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
going to put her in there because the one side she's paralyzed on one side.
Right.
And her eyes can't see out of one eye, but they are going to put her in
Okay.
Alma.
Okay, so she might go to Alma. That's my cousin Annette, and my cousin at Sparrow, his name is Michael. So Annette won't be going to Ann Arbor. She'll be going to Alma
Alma
in a rehabilitation center. Gotcha. So Michael might be going to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I just found that out.
So I'm glad you brought that up, and we could, be as accurate as possible.
Keeping up on them.
But we've been thinking a lot about Michael and Annette, and Michael, he's a young guy, and like I said, he's spent his entire life fighting through health issues, and he's a strong kid. He's a strong kid, and I love him dearly. I always have, and I'm thinking about him, and I hope things will turn around. That's really all I can hope for. It's all anyone can really hope for, is that things turn around. And my cousin Annette, who had a massive stroke, as Dad just said, she's making slow progress, slowly but surely. She's coming back. But nonetheless, it is a very, very trying time for everybody, and I'm glad that fan shut off, actually, because now I don't have to talk over the fan. I have to talk so loud. But we're keeping family in our thoughts and in our hearts all the time. So there's some not so good news to get out of the way. The good news, I saw my mother last week. She came down to visit. We had dinner. We watched television. We visited for a little while. And we sat next to one another on a love seat. I think it was a love seat. Oh, it's a couch. I mean, it's a love seat. It's a love seat. And she had got a ding on her cell phone, like a chiming message whenever she gets text messages or whatever. And they were test results from a COVID test that she recently had done, and the results came back negative. So that's a bright spot. She was happy. She was overjoyed, which I'm happy and overjoyed. She seemed to be in good spirits, and all the other tests came back negative. She was tested for leukemia. She had labs done, and those results also came back negative. So she's doing okay, but she's taking it easy at the same time. And so, it's Mom. I worry a lot about my mom and my dad, although I live with my dad. But I worry about my parents all the time. I'm supposed to. Although my parents would digress and say, well, no, it's the job of us parents to worry about our children. Of course you do. But we also worry about our parents as well. It's a give and a take. So there's some good news. I got to talk with my cousin yesterday. Her name is Destiny. Not Anna's Destiny. David Allen's Destiny. There's two Destinies in my family. She was working at a horse stable over by Ithaca, or Ashley, I'm sorry, by Ashley. And she didn't video call me, she voice messaged me, and we talked for, I don't know, maybe a good half hour. And it was nice to hear from her again. I haven't spoken to her in quite some time. So we talked about random things, and I told her I loved her and missed her. I want to come and see her again. She says she loved and missed me too, and so hopefully I'll get to see her sometime soon. Destiny doesn't know that these videos exist, at least. Honestly, I don't know who knows about these videos, and honestly, I don't care who knows about these videos. I'm just here every week recording a video and sharing bits and pieces of my life with all of you. But yeah, I got to speak with some family. I was at my cousin's house in Chesaning a few days ago, and when you feel ignored, you just don't stick around. So I left. There's everybody stuck to their own group of people, and when I would hang around with them, and then they would go outside, and I'd follow them outside, and when I come outside, they'd all go back inside. Fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna try to mingle and associate with my own family, members of the same bloodline, and they just kind of leave me in the dust. So fuck it, I'm not gonna stick around. So I left. Well, I can't say I left. We left because I was with Dad. My vehicle was here, but you guys went to the Owasso Speedway last night.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Yeah, we had fun, and Ethan and Lexi won bicycles.
Hmm.
Won two brand new bicycles from the other race car driver, and Damien bought a bike and took there and donated it. And,
Cool.
Some other lucky little kid or whatever got a bicycle.
I haven't been to the Owasso Speedway. I haven't been to the Owasso Speedway in years because of all the troublemakers out there, the loudmouth, obnoxious drunks. And it seems like when I went there, and this was years ago, every time I go there would always be a fight breaking out. Someone would get in someone else's face, and there'd be an exchange of words, and just drunken buffoons who are supposed to be there enjoying a race. I just stopped going. That's partially the reason why I stopped going. The other reason is because there's nothing to block out the sun. It's like you're walking on the sun out there because there's nothing, there's no shade unless you sit under the bleachers. Who wants to sit on the bleachers? You're not going to see anything if you're sitting on the bleachers. But I stopped going to the Owasso Speedway because, drama and no shade. but I bet they're throwing shade at each other. But well, I'm glad you guys had fun. I sat here.
I'm always in the pits.
Yeah, Dad's always in the pits because
I only seen him 3 or 4 times last night.
my cousin Damien, he races his car out there weekly, or at least when they can race, and when they're not.
Every Saturday.
You know, every Saturday night at the Owasso Speedway when it's not raining and, you know, the schedules don't get postponed.
I think next month is the last month.
Yeah.
October.
Nope, September.
Hmm.
September.
September is the last month for rain. Yeah. I know the COVID pandemic really messed everything up, and no county fairs, because I think this would have been the week for the Saginaw County Fair. Typically, because it's late August.
Yeah.
Today's the 23rd. It's usually,
No, the
27.
Saginaw Fair is before my birthday, and then Shiawassee is the week of my birthday.
no,
27.
it
And that's really
it kind of alternates. So I mean, some years it's this week, some years it's next week.
that was
I don't know.
a thing and a half.
Either way, the COVID pandemic royally fucked everything up, and there's no county fairs. There's no nothing. We didn't. I don't even think we had a fireworks this
No,
year
we
No,
didn't.
we didn't.
because of the COVID. Everybody,
had 'em.
yeah, everybody canceled, and so it's
What gets me
2020 shouldn't even count.
good, and back to Michael. Tammy's been up there ever since she's been sick in the hospital.
Yeah.
Hospitalized.
Okay,
Mike went up there. He wanted to stay with. Or he
Mike
wanted
is
to
Michael's
leave-
dad, by the
leave
way.
Tammy.
yeah,
So Tammy can go home and get some rest and change and take a shower and stuff like that.
got
He
hot
told
all
her
of a
if
sudden.
she does, she can't go back in. She may not be able to get back in. So
Yeah.
Mike, he can't go up there.
Um,
He can.
yeah. So we jump back to Michael from talking about the Saginaw Fair, but
Why for him take your money?
her brother was out here yesterday when you guys were gone. Joe showed up with a couple other guys.
Yeah, he said Jared
And-
helped out with Barkley.
He said he was out.
I had to drag Bart. Well, not drag. Not.
But he's stubborn.
I had to kind of yank on his leash and say, "Come on, Barky, you got to come this way. You got to come this way." And I had to keep kind of
Had no
tugging
issue
at
with
it.
Scruffy.
He's stubborn.
I had to keep tugging at it, you know, and I didn't literally drag him, you know, not to sound like that, but
He's stubborn.
he just didn't want to move, and I had to kind of tug at his leash a little bit and say, come on, you got to move. I don't want you getting run over. But yeah, now we have a pontoon in our backyard. So,
Yeah.
and Dad said it was okay. Dad gave permission, so
Just for a little while.
yeah, just for a little while.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, so it'd be next month or.
Yeah. And speaking of September being right around the corner, I don't know how involved or how actively engaged I'm going to be this year, because last year was just really, there was no motivation, no enthusiasm. But September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It is coming up here very, very soon. And, you know, we're still, you know, things haven't really improved
No.
since years past. I've mentioned childhood cancer awareness for years, over and over and over again, and there really hasn't been any improvements other than just the only thing that's improved is diagnoses, which is not good. The broad scope of the childhood cancer population has grown; it hasn't shrunk. So that's the only thing that's changed. The things that change are not the things that we want to see. And we don't want to hear about kids being diagnosed. But yes, nonetheless, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And for me, it's just every day. It's been every day for the past 31 years. And, you know, I'm still feeling the effects from treatment after all these years. To briefly touch on something, because Dad got up, walked away, and although that's irrelevant to what I'm going to say, whether he's here or not, I'm still going to say it anyway. I don't know what I'm thinking there. But anyway,
It's not enough coffee, guys.
yeah, and I'm not drinking out of my own cup, I noticed. I'm drinking out of the I Love Grandpa coffee cup.
I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong cup. 'Cause I didn't find yours. It's probably there. You're a grandpa somehow, I guess, today.
I don't know. There's no kids out there that I'm aware of. Not for me. But anyway, speaking of kids,
You're
I-
back to your cancer.
I was notified in Messenger about, once again, Milk Tyson. There was and I don't know how true this is, so I'm not going to treat it as if this is actually factually true. But I was notified that Milk Tyson was under investigation for sexually grooming a little girl. I don't know how true it is, and I guess the FBI showed up at the little girl's house. I'm not going to give her name to protect her identity. I'm going to respect that. As for Milk, fuck Milk Tyson. I don't care. And I don't know how true this is. I haven't seen any official FBI documentation detailing that they showed up at this little girl's house or that Milk was under investigation. So I don't want to say that this is true because I have not seen evidence from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. If it's even made public, I wouldn't know where to look. And I don't know if they release that information publicly because, you know, it's serious and it involves a minor, it involves a child. So I don't know if they release that information publicly. However, it's just a claim. And without evidence, I don't believe claims. I don't believe that any of this is true. I would need to see additional evidence to confirm that. So, and I'm not treating it like it is true, but just to put it out there that I was notified that Milk Tyson was accused of sexually grooming a little girl.
You would think that if you went into the corrections...
Oh, no, not corrections. Corrections would be prison. The people who have been incarcerated because they've been found guilty by a jury of their peers or what have you.
That's what I was wondering, is if
He's never been in jail. He's never been in prison, no.
At least that's what he says.
Yeah, well, either way, he could say whatever he wants if it's public information, which, by the way, I always look. But I haven't seen any official record of him being incarcerated. But this is, like I said, this is just a claim. This is just a claim by someone that the FBI got involved, and he was accused of sexually grooming a little girl. And like I said, the little girl's name is not going to be revealed because I want to protect her identity, and I want to make sure that she's out of harm's way.
Yeah.
For her, I know her name. I'm just not going to say it. But Milk Tyson, as far as he goes, he can fuck off. He needs to leave children alone. He needs to vanish into obscurity, out of the childhood cancer world. He needs to leave people the fuck alone. And there's people out there who defend this guy, and they defend that cult. I call it a cult. Fam. It's a cult. Y'all need to stop defending this piece of shit and get the fuck out of fam while the getting's good, because there is nothing good to come out of this. Nothing. It's a wonder he bounces around from state to state and his excuses. Oh, I'm going to go make the difference in the lives of all these families and all these people. Dude, you're a creep. You already admitted that, and that's why I put together a video outlining and detailing everything you said. I didn't put words in your mouth. You said what you said on the fucking podcast. You shot yourself in the foot, and now people are catching on. More and more people are catching on every day, and it is awesome. It is awesome. I want for people to leave on their own accord. I don't want people to leave because they're being forced. I want people to find out exactly the kind of creep that you are. And that's it. Oh, and Dad returns from the kitchen. I didn't even see a walk-in.
potty? Is what he just said.
I was just, you missed a good conversation. You missed a good point. Oh, you heard everything I said? Good. Rambling on. Well, I have to. Children's lives are at stake. I have to ramble on to protect them.
Are you ready for more coffee?
I'm just about there.
Okay, sir.
I didn't go out to Billy's last week because I was visiting with my mom. I usually go out to Billy's in Clio. It's where Dan Richards is. Dan Richards is a DJ for 98 FM KCQ. He does a Sunday flashback every Sunday on the 98 FM KCQ from 7 o'clock tonight. This is Eastern time, by the way. From 7 until midnight. From 7 till midnight, he plays classic country from years ago. We're talking early, Johnny and Waylon and George Jones and, Dolly and Loretta and Conway, all the old, the older music, the older generation music, and the newer generation music, from about, I'd say, the 60s until maybe 2010, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far, but it's a big swath of music that that he plays, and it's by request, by the way. If you're on Facebook, check out the Facebook page called 98 FM KCQ Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards. And place your request, and it's got to be country. It has to qualify as country, and he'll put it on the air. The radio station is based in Saginaw, and you can listen on live, or listen on live. You can listen live online at 98fmkcq.com. You can listen from anywhere in the world. I mean, because if I know Dan Richards, he's got this great big mega speaker on top of the radio station. You can hear the music play from anywhere in the world. I don't know if that. I'm not sure that's how that works, but I think 98 FM KCQ would be getting a huge fine from the city of Saginaw for noise ordinance violations. So I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. But it is the Sunday flashback from Sunday. I got to slow down. Every Sunday from 7 until midnight on 98 KCQ. And I don't mind putting in a plug for Dan, because Dan's the man. And I buy him shots of Fireball when we're out at Billy's every Monday night.
Hey, Garrett. I'm going to give everybody a laugh, plus you and Dad. This morning I get up, right? Everybody's sleeping, go to make a pot of coffee.
Yeah.
Well, the third scoop, I decide to go and put in my coffee cup.
Why? Just not thinking?
Not thinking.
So she puts a third scoop of coffee grounds directly into her coffee cup instead of in the filter
Yeah.
where it belongs.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it at first and was going to go drink it. And I decided, okay, I see it all floating on top. Dump it down the drain.
And only Amy would do something like that.
Yeah, that's an Amyism.
For all them that need a laugh.
Yeah, she. You know what I did one time? I caught myself doing it, and I laughed so hard. I was preparing myself a bowl of Cheerios, because I like Cheerios. Sometimes I like to eat cereal in the morning. And I went to reach for the sugar, and instead I put flour in my Cheerios. It's white. It's white. It's bleached. I'm not thinking to, okay, I'm reaching for that, but why am I grabbing? I put flour in my Cheerios.
Well, look at that time out at Grandpa's. You had, what, goulash or something? And you ended up putting sugar in it?
Yeah, I put sugar in my soup, and I thought it was salt. And or try to, I can't fit this fucking gallon of milk in the microwave. What the fuck? Oh, it doesn't go in the microwave. Duh.
mine incidents have been with the coffee pot being in the refrigerator instead of on the coffee pot itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you add creamer to this?
Yes, I did.
I can barely taste it.
I'm sorry, buddy. You only had about that much room once I did the best I could.
That's all right. I'll still drink it. But we all have those what was I thinking moments. Your mind goes somewhere else, and then you know.
Something else gets into your mind, and then you don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens to all of us, you know. It happens to me more times than I really care to admit. It's like, I remember getting an oil change, and it's like, why are you putting the gas in the oil reservoir? Well, because you're not getting gas. You're getting an oil change. The oil goes into the oil reservoir under the hood. You don't put gas. You don't fill up a car under the hood. It's like, oh shit, that's right. What am I thinking? It's just your brain goes to different places, and it doesn't occur to you.
Yeah.
Until duh. But yeah. Coffee grounds in a cup. I could see if it was instant coffee.
Yeah.
That would make sense, but
Percolated coffee.
yeah, the grounds are expected. Those grounds are supposed to run through a percolator, not. But anyway,
Had a rough morning. Everybody was sleeping. No one to tell me what to do.
the whole damn week has been just crazy. I mean, with
you making the coffee.
with family members being sick and
Friends passing away.
what's that?
Friends passing
Yeah, friends passing away. And,
My mom getting so bad to where I actually snapped at her.
yeah, Amy's adopted mom she's got Alzheimer's, dementia.
Dementia, Alzheimer's, and oh boy,
It's gotten severe, beyond control, and
mom's churchy and never swears, and oh boy, now
Well,
she does.
holy shit.
She throws out that fuck word like nothing.
Oh well, fuck it. Dementia and Alzheimer's are very serious and very debilitating diseases, and I feel bad for her. I really do. I feel bad for your ma. She's
Joe could use that word in front of his mother anyways, and
what? Fuck.
Yeah.
he always
Knowing that my mother does not talk that
She
way,
doesn't swear. She's ethereal and doesn't use profane language. Because what would her God say about that?
Right. But now, if she don't get her way, she will swear at you.
Motherfucker! Shake her fist, motherfucker!
Yeah. She wanted to go to church this morning. Well, Mom, you can't go back to your other church. No one wants you there. Well, I want to go up out of high school. Why? To start rumors all over again about us? Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a difficult position to be in because especially being a caregiver.
But then again, Joe and Tammy wanted that
Yeah.
responsibility. Now
Yeah, well, yeah.
everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe's leaving as of today.
You signed up for that job. You got to take what you get thrown at you.
Tammy's going to be there by herself.
Literally and figuratively, because
Mother, if you were still alive, in a heartbeat.
and it's not to.
I would too if I could.
And nobody's making light or making fun of people with dementia or Alzheimer's. I wouldn't joke about that in a million years, but it is very serious. It's debilitating. It turns people into someone that they are not, and those people don't remember who they are.
Some of them.
Alan.
They've lost their identity.
Look at Uncle Alan.
Yeah, my Uncle Ellen.
He'd ask me, I know if he'd ask me what my name is.
Yeah.
John.
He says, you're Jared, right? I said, yeah, Uncle Al, I'm Jared,
I
5 minutes later, you're Wayne's boy, right? What's your name? What's your name? I can't remember. It's Jared, Uncle Ellen. Jared, that's right. The next 5 minutes. What's your name again? What's your name again? He was bad. Uncle Ellen was bad.
I'm everybody but Amy.
Dad would say, that's here, that's Wayne, that's my son, that's your nephew. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then he would just reiterate.
It's just sad.
It is sad because, like I said, they forget who they are. They forget their identity. They forget who they are, where they came from. They forget who their family is. They even forget they have children of their own, and they don't remember their own children. They don't remember their own names. They don't remember anything, and they get mean. They get ornery. They get very mean and aggressive.
I'm honestly shocked that my mom still remembers back in '80s when she adopted me and Joe,
Yeah.
and she throws up in our face.
But she can't remember what she had for breakfast.
And she remembers her old homestead out
Yes.
in Munith, Michigan, which is down by Jackson. She remembers her old homestead, which is great. That's cool.
She can't remember what she had for breakfast.
Yeah,
An hour
yeah,
ago.
yeah. It sounds like she's gotten worse. It sounds as if her condition has worsened.
Yeah,
And-
Joe and I are also finding out right now
Yeah,
that they wanted one of us and not the other. They had to take both
We
of
had
us
to take both of you.
because of the courts.
mm-hmm.
They had to.
But 1 minute she'll be saying we wanted the son. Then there's the next minute. 2 minutes later she's saying they wanted me. Then she's
Yeah.
right back. I mean, it's a back and forth battle. So we're both like, who actually did they want?
And I didn't know that
Yeah.
your dad wanted to put your mom in a...
No one knew that Dad wanted to put her in a home.
And it's a shame.
2 years
It really is a
before he
shame.
passed. 2 years before he passed. He wanted to put her in a home.
So that would have been 2013.
She's been taken care of.
Because he passed away 2017.
But it's really a shame, and you know these people. I have a friend right now in Pennsylvania. Her mom is not expected to be around much longer either because she has a very severe case of she Alzheimer's, dementia. She wasn't expected to make it through the night. That's how far bad she is. And she's still with us. A matter of fact, I just texted my friend this morning. She is a mom of a Wilms survivor, by the way. It would be the Wilms survivor's grandmother. I messaged her this morning. I texted her and asked her what's going on, how's mom doing, is she still with us today? And she's still with us, but she's not expected to be around much longer. And I wish I could just give her a big hug right now and tell her I'm sorry. But all I can, from a distance, from afar, all I can do is just keep her in my thoughts and in my heart and wish for the best. It's really all I can do. But it's a shame when it's people that you love, when it's your own parents, when it's your own,
One that's raised you.
the people that took care of you, the people that wiped your nose and put clothes on your back and food in your stomach and kept a roof over your head and tried to raise a decent human being, a decent, productive member of society, and now that the script is flipped and the shoe's on the other foot, now it's the kids taking care of the parents, and it can be strenuous, you know.
I see my brother if he stays around here and deals with my mom.
Yeah,
Me and his wife already seen him having a heart attack.
it's a lot to take on.
A heart attack or a stroke, one of the two.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah,
Good luck.
yeah, I agree.
But it's an awful lot to take on when caring for a loved one. It's sad. But on a lighter note, for all you people know, I'm not wearing any pants. I could be sitting here in my boxers and my undies. What? Such perfect timing. I mentioned not wearing pants and your phone rings.
Is it a woman on the other end? I hope.
Maybe.
I hope it ain't no man.
Well, I'm sitting here at the house.
Sounds like Joe.
Speaking of the drunk. Wait, did he say son?
Yeah.
My brother. But anyway.
We lost him again.
I'm trying to eavesdrop a little bit on the... It's wrong to eavesdrop on phone calls, but it's like totally silent. It's totally quiet in here. Oh, let me guess. He wants Dad to do him a favor. See, this is... Pick something up. He mentioned trailer. I actually got him upset with me last week, my brother, because I refused to jump to his... I refused to jump at his command. He wanted me to haul a bed or something. It's like, wow, when do I ever know anybody? Oh, until they need a favor, until they want something, until they need a favor, then I hear from them.
Jared, you gotta do me a favor.
I got to do you a favor.
Yeah.
What?
Take me for cruise.
I mean, I don't hear from anybody until they need something, which is very frustrating. And mind you, I'm the kind of person who will help anybody. But don't contact me only when you need a fucking favor. Contact me casually to say, hey, how's it going, Jared? Hey, how have you been? How's life treating you? How's your health? How's the weather? Are you wearing any pants in your Sunday video update? You know, shit like that. Keep in contact, you know, just strike up a casual conversation, and not only until you need something will you get in touch with me, because that shit is not going to fly. Sorry.
And that person that got a hold of you to have you bring them out here.
Yeah.
And she was intoxicated.
Yeah, I had a woman out here last week. But I've known her for years. I've known her since I was a teenager. She spent the night here, and that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Won't be happening again.
No.
I won't get into detail about that, but
Rude.
yeah. Well, she was rude and obnoxious and drunk, reeked of whiskey, and
Yeah, right as soon as she got out of the vehicle.
I mean, as soon as she got in my fucking van, she smelled of whiskey. And it's like, oh, great. You want to come out and see me, but this is what I have to deal with? No. Never again. If you want to meet me somewhere, like in Corona or Wasso, okay, I'll drive to Corona or Wasso. We'll hang out. We'll make a day of it. But the minute you embarrass me, I'm gone. Now what?
Oh, I gotta go out and move something with my trailer.
Of course. See, isn't that what I just pointed out? Yeah, you're always wanted. Not for anything good. You're only wanted for favors. Only wanted for favors.
And you know, when it's one of your kids, you cannot do it. You gotta do it.
I don't know if my windows are down.
I think they are. Mine ain't. I don't think. I think it wrote mine up last.
I mean, yeah, you're there for your kids, but you know, and it's just like I said here. I would like for people to contact me casually to say, hey, how's it going? How's your health? How's the weather? You know, are you wearing any pants in your Sunday video update? You know, shit like that.
Are you wearing your pants? Are you playing with yourself? No.
Well, if I'm playing with myself, that's
My business.
my business. That's not for anyone else to know.
But you go blind. That's why you should
But-
have glasses on.
But okay, but anyway, I don't like for people to contact me only when they need a favor.
Ask me what was wrong with my arm. Rosie McKinnon asked me what was wrong with my arm. Did you get it?
Oh yeah.
It shocked the daylights out of me because I wasn't expecting.
It's hot in here.
Turn your fan around.
Turn the fan around.
Turn it on.
And turn it on towards you, man.
I had it off because I got cold last night.
Get my back not cooled off.
And your boxers.
my boxers. Oh, my underwear. My whitey tighties are showing. Of course, you can't see here, but
Oh,
I don't need to know. I don't need to know
I
that.
don't think they need to know that either. We're going to edit that piece out.
I'm not editing anything out. But I didn't need to know that, but thanks. But, you know, such is life. I live with a comedian.
I live with 2 comedians.
But, I guess that about covers everything from this past week.
I know this week, the 26th.
I think it was last week you guys were also at the Owasso Speedway. Because I went to Lansing.
Saturday. Dad's been to, what, 9 races?
I went to Lansing last week, and that was at nighttime.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's 9 races.
And that's when I posted that video of the Owasso Speedway. You couldn't see the cars, but you could hear the motors when they were going around the track.
Me and Owen made mechanics on duty.
Who's making the shirts?
Me and Owen.
Jared says, who's making the shirts?
I'm gonna have them made myself. One for me and Owen both. Mechanics on duty.
Or Crew Pit.
No, mechanics on duty.
Okay.
We're always working on his brother's cars and everybody else's, but we work on
Do you know? Do you know how to spell mechanic? Do you know how to spell mechanic?
Yeah, MC, work on my car. Work on cars. MECHANIC, mechanic.
He's brushing the back with a brush.
So let me guess, you're leaving, right? You're jumping to the beck and call of my brother.
Well, may I get my normal routine, please?
You know, it's like when I'm home alone, and
I don't think Gary wants to do that.
okay, when I'm home alone, and I enjoy the peace and quiet to myself. I love having the house to myself. It's peaceful, it's quiet. Then I get calls or hey, why don't you come over and hang with us for a while? Because I'm enjoying my alone time. That's why. The whole point of alone time means you leave me the fuck alone. I love spending time here at home by myself. I got the whole house to myself. Do anything I want. Bye. I can do anything I want when I want. I don't have to answer to anybody. I'll do what I want. I'm in my own home. I'm in the privacy of my own home. If I wanna make grilled cheese sandwiches in my underwear, I will. You know, I'm not gonna cover myself or get dressed. You know, I'm home alone. Leave me alone. Of course, you will never know if I make grilled cheese sandwiches in my underwear.
Not unless Dad or I come out and tell you in Sunday's video.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are gone, and I would never disclose that information, so there's no way you'd ever find out anyway.
Right.
But I like my alone time. I don't mind, you know, being off the radar, being off the grid, being unknown to people.
I'm honestly getting to be the same way with Facebook.
Yeah,
It's like I only get a few people I talk to anymore.
yeah, all the friends, and you only hear from a handful, or maybe not even a handful, maybe 2, 3, 4 tops.
I have one friend
4 tops.
that I've known since 09,
Yeah.
010, 10.
Oh, 10?
Yeah,
It's
010.
it's just 10.
But anyway, she don't even hardly talk to me anymore. And I mean, it was always, we were hitting each other up and talking. And,
Kind of get put on the back burner.
yeah.
Get put in the back pages. That's fine. You know, I'll enjoy living my life and doing what I want to do without anybody.
I know my son don't see these, but, you know, I'm pretty upset with him too right now.
I only hope he would see this, so that way he knows how you feel.
Yeah.
You know? But, so Dad's leaving. I don't know what are you going to do, Amy, going out to the camper? Oh, she's going to the bathroom right now. So, how could I have forgotten this? We recently had an earthquake here in Michigan. And Michigan's not known for earthquakes, not generally. We're not an earthquake state, not by default anyway. But we had a 3.2 earthquake. The epicenter was 5 nautical miles east of the city of Monroe, Michigan, which is way down in the southeast corner of the state. It's between Detroit and Toledo. And tremors were really felt in Ann Arbor. They felt some tremors as far north as Flint, far west as Lansing. I didn't feel shit here. I didn't feel a thing. And if there was any kind of shake or any kind of tremor, I don't know. I didn't feel it. But yeah, it was a 3.2, and it was the measurement was by, I think it was the USGS, the United States Geological Survey. And as it turns out, there are fault lines for earthquakes here in the state of Michigan. But we're not typically a state known for earthquakes. We get tornadoes, we get blizzards, we get ice storms, we get brutal, summer heat and frigid winter cold. We don't get earthquakes. Of course, we don't have volcanoes either because we don't have mountains. But it's just we don't even get hurricanes. But there was a couple of years, I think, when we had, it was called Hurricane Huron. It spun up right out in Lake Huron, and multiple tornado sightings all over the state. And that was back in the 90s. But again, Michigan, we're not known for things like that. We're not Florida. We're not California. We're not Texas. We're not all these coastal states, Louisiana, and we're not known for that stuff. But rest assured, we're getting right on up there with practically every other state known for that. And I'm not too thrilled about it. I don't want to be crossing the Mackinac Bridge and have an earthquake start shaking the bridge and me be halfway across the son of a bitch, That wouldn't end well. That wouldn't be a good thing, But, yeah, we're getting up there with the rest of the states known for things like that. We get massive flooding here, which we're known for floods. We're known for lake effect snow, blizzards, thunder and lightning during a blizzard. We're known for wacky, crazy weather. I mean, it's just really, really strange, but that is nature showing off and having a little bit of fun. She's doing a tap dance on her foreheads. And they showed a map of the lower peninsula of Michigan where all the fault lines are. Kind of looks like a palm reading, because our state is shaped like a hand or like a mitten, and there's a bunch of lines going across the lower peninsula, and it really and truly looked like a palm reading with all the lines going across. But yeah, it was quite the phenomenon that we typically aren't. We generally don't get that kind of activity, but it's getting to that point. Now we are. Michigan is becoming a Quaker state. Nobody was hurt, so that's a plus. There were no injuries or fatalities, so that's a good thing. I think I pretty much covered everything this week that I wanted to discuss. I don't know what's happening this week. We still have the week ahead, so I can't predict what's going to happen. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know what's going to happen this week. I have no plans. I have no appointments that I'm aware of, and it's just a week where I'm going to hang out here at home, maybe if it's too hot outside. I might even go out to Billy's tomorrow night. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, because I didn't go last week because I was spending time with my mom, and it was much needed time to be spent with my mother. We had like I said, we had dinner. We watched television. We watched Perry Mason and the Golden Girls and all the good stuff. We visited for, I'd say, a good 3 or 4 hours, just randomly talking about things and just enjoying each other's company. And there's a lot of, you can never get enough time with your parents. And I know we were just sitting here talking about parents with Alzheimer's and dementia. I worry so much about the health and well-being of my parents because of, and it's basically knowing what I had already gone through. I mean, it's parents' job to take care of their kids, absolutely. But when the tables are turned, and you guys were, your parenting and stewardship over me when I had cancer was incredible. Now let me return that favor. Now it's incumbent on me to make sure that my parents are, at least try to keep them in the best of health, at least help them when they need it, when it's necessary, when it's available. And it's a give and a take thing. Parents want the best for their kids. They try to raise productive members of society, and when they grow up, understanding the value and the core meaning of helping other people. It makes the world a better place when you can be that one person to help, when you can be that one person to make a difference in someone's life. And I know that, nowadays we're in the day and age of social media where everybody wants to make themselves look good. It's window dressing for their lives. You're not supposed to brag about doing good things. It's just not in good taste. It's disingenuous. If I and I've helped a lot of people in my life. Anybody who personally knows me knows that I've helped them in some way, shape, or form. I have no regrets. It's just one of those things where if I help you, the whole world doesn't need to know. I'm helping you because that's what any good person would do. That's what any productive member of society would do. They would help someone in need of help. You don't get to use a person's calamity to improve your internet image and persona, and you sure as hell don't get to make it all about you, because it's not about you. It's about people helping each other collectively. The COVID pandemic is making things difficult day by day, and it's only getting worse. Factually, it's getting worse. There's new numbers that come out. I mean, Michigan has, we have our increase of COVID cases here in the state, but Texas is awful right now. Florida, Texas, Arizona, and California, the last I heard, were the 4 major battleground states for the COVID pandemic. And it's really, really, really frustrating because I have family and friends in all 4 of those states. And I worry about them. I don't want to see anything bad happen to them. I want them to be safe and to stay healthy and to just do their part and stay home, shelter in place, stay home if you have to. Again, like I said, it's not as bad here in Michigan as it is in other states, although our governor did, in fact, tighten our restrictions where now we have to wear a mask, and it doesn't matter where you are, you have to wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm home. But when I go out in public, if I go inside of a grocery store, every time I go inside of a grocery store, I wear a mask. Every time I go, and it doesn't matter where, even if I go to a park, and if I'm around a bunch of people, I'll wear a mask. Now, if I'm sitting by myself under the pavilion, which I've already done at Showboat Park, I'm not going to wear the mask. It's just me. There's no point. But if there's other people around, yes, I will wear a mask. Because generally the order was that you have to wear a mask if you're around crowds of people. But I was by myself at Showboat Park. I think it was last week or the week before. So there was really no point for me to wear a mask because it was just me there. The park was empty. There was no other person there. But I do follow the rules. I do follow the guidelines. I'm not breaking any laws. Although I'm interested because executive orders are by the governor. And one of the reasons why the police department, that our local law enforcement, they're not enforcing the mask wearing because it's not a law. They're law enforcement, not executive order enforcement. And an executive order is not a state law. That's why so many people are fighting this on grounds of technicality. It's not a law. It's just an executive order by the governor. But either way, if it's an order by the governor, a person who has power, you probably should, for a good reason, not just because it's an order, but for the sake of humanity and the well-being of other people, you probably should wear the mask and not, not be so trivial about things. Just wear the fucking mask.
Well, they're even saying now, like, say you got, like, we were at the races last night.
Yeah.
And right on the ticket booth,
Yeah.
it has a sign on there that says the only way you cannot wear a mask is if you have
Yeah.
medical
Right.
reason why you can't.
And see, that's something else too that I wanted to bring up, because
How many of them are going to take advantage of that?
yeah, and they do.
Even though they
It's-
don't have a health issue.
It's going to get to the point where this is what I'm thinking, and I could be wrong. It's just a hunch. What it might boil down to is you'll have to go to a doctor. You're going to have to get a note in writing by your doctor stating your reasons for exemption from wearing a mask, and then you're going to have to wear like a lanyard with a tag on it that says, showing I do not have to wear a mask. And the only way you're going to be able to obtain that is if you get the all clear from a doctor.
Right.
That's probably what it might come down to. Maybe I'm just, and I could be wrong. Don't take my word for this, but it might come down to that. Like if Dad has a legitimate reason for why he can't wear a mask and why the doctor exempted him from wearing a mask, he might have to wear a lanyard with a tag on it that says I am exempt according to doctor's orders, or something like that. Just to signal to other people that the doctor says I don't have to wear a mask. And if you're going out in public without wearing a mask and without having the lanyard around your neck, then they could fine you. It might come down to that. But I could be wrong.
I'm wondering if they're going to do it like for like they do for like when I was in the apartment and I wanted to have my cat with me. I
Yeah.
had to have a doctor's statement.
Medical marijuana. You got to have a doctor's statement. You got to have a card. Don't you got to have a card?
Not no more.
Not no more. So, because it's legal, marijuana is legal on is it federal or is it state where it's legal?
State.
It's legal for the state. They're still fighting. I don't know.
We're still fighting federal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't stay on top of this like you do because.
It's going to be a while. We can't get federal on board.
But it's kind of like that where you're going to have to get an okay from the doctor.
Yeah. But it's not your family doctor.
No.
It's a special
See where.
doctor. But then again, they're even doing away with that now.
See where with the face mask, the mask wearing, the exemption might have to be from your family doctor because
Yes.
it's your family doctor, and they're going to be the ones to determine as to whether or not it is healthy for you to wear a mask.
Right.
And if there's certain health issues that exempt you from wearing a mask or exonerate you from wearing a mask, then, and like I said, it's just a hunch, but they probably might have a system set up to where you make it known to people that I have medical issues and I don't have to wear the mask.
Right.
And if you don't believe me, here's my doctor's.
Yeah.
This is in writing by my family physician. And you know damn well, and I'm glad you brought up how many people are taking advantage of that, like at the racetrack. That may very well be the same thing for people going to the doctor,
Yeah.
looking for exoneration from mask wearing.
Yeah.
It no different. They'll come up with an excuse not to wear it.
Well, that's like me. I got asthma and bronchitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, asthma and bronchitis.
and even as myself, someone who doesn't have issues like that, it's still hard to breathe in those. It doesn't deprive me of oxygen. Like most people think it deprives you of oxygen. No, it doesn't, because if a surgeon can go hours at a time every single day wearing a mask, it's not going to hurt you to walk into an air-conditioned store or elsewhere in public and wear a mask. It's not going to kill you. Your rights are not being infringed upon. It's mistaken as, all it is, really and truly, all it is just a matter of inconvenience, because they don't like to have something on their face. It has nothing to do with your rights being trampled on. It's not your rights that are at stake. It's your health.
And you know what I think? They should exempt your kids that are 3 years old.
Yeah.
Because
Small children, yeah.
How in the world are you going to keep that mask on those little kids?
And what about children with autism? They're not going to want that on their face.
No.
And that might be another point of exemption where they don't have to wear the mask because of their autism. I have lots of friends who are autistic. Their children are autistic.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would resonate with autistic children.
Right.
Because they're not going to want that on their face.
They're going to try to either take it off or
Because it's the texture and the feeling of it covering their mouth and their nose where they breathe. They're not gonna, they're not gonna like that. But there's no one right answer, which is why I don't really talk about it much. Just like politics, we hear so much about Trump and Biden, and I'm not political at all. There's no right answer. You're not going to please everybody. It's impossible. Which is why I haven't voted in 16 years.
I think it's about the same for me.
And
Because you and I voted at the same time.
yeah, and it was for a governor, I think, at the time. It was back in 2004. The ballot was like this long, and back then you could cross vote between Republican and Democrat. Now you either got to vote Democrat or Republican. It's, to me, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped voting, because you're never going to please everybody. You're never going to please everybody, for one. For two, if my vote actually does count, because I hear all the time, well, my vote doesn't matter and blah, 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 blah. Okay, but let's say, for example, that it does, and I tried to explain this to my dad, I think it was just yesterday. What if your vote does count? You get someone in there who's incompetent and fucks everything up worse than what it already is. Well, that's the voters' fault for putting them in there. That comes back on us, because we're the ones who vote them into power. We vote them into those seats. We want them to represent us. That's why we put them there. They get in there, they fuck everything up. That comes back. It's not the people, it's the electorate. It's the people. We're the ones who put them there. The fault lies with us, not the politicians. We're the ones who are too fucked up, and we put them there. No thanks. I wipe my hands clean of the whole election process. You can keep your hate mail. I'm not interested. Oh, you don't give a fuck about America, blah, 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 blah. I've heard it all before. Just keep your hate mail. Keep your mail to yourself regarding the voting and the election process, because I really don't want to hear it.
I know what Dad and I got going on Wednesday.
What's that?
I got to go my first surgery that I had.
Yeah.
I had to go in for my follow-up. And then I'm good to go, as far as I know, until August 2nd. But I'm going to see about calling a hand surgeon.
August 2nd?
Or September 2nd. Anyway.
August 2nd's long gone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You going to Owasso for that?
Owasso for both of them.
Oh.
I'm just glad I got both surgeries done. They were major surgeries that I needed to get done. I feel sad.
But anyway, it's kind of a busy life here. I don't know. I think I've spoken my piece this week. I think I've said everything I needed to say.
I'm good as long as I don't have to deal with my brother this week.
Yeah. There was one final thing that I wanted to say before I wrap up this week's video update. I was at my cousin's house, as I pointed out. And my little 4-year-old cousin Sammy, because he loves Jared. He loves me. And I was sitting down in the living room, and it was in a chair. We were watching cartoons, I think it was, and he had this great big piece of watermelon. Kid loves watermelon. And he must have saw Rhonda's picture on the wall. He crawled up on my lap in the chair, and he kind of snuggled up to me and started eating his watermelon, and I'm just sitting there rocking in the chair, you know, and while he's eating. And he says, just out of the blue, he says, "Do you know that Grandma died?" I said, "Yeah. I knew Grandma passed away. She is gone." And he says, she went to heaven?" I said, "Yeah." Did you love Grandma?" And he's just talking about Rhonda. I said, "I loved her very much. She was like a second mother to me because she helped raise, she helped to raise, might as well say she helped to raise me, because I grew up with my cousins. We were inseparable." And he says, "Do you miss Grandma?" I said, "Every day of my life." We just kind of had a heart-to-heart, it was cute. My little 4-year-old cousin, and he talks about his grandma, and he's just asking questions, and he says, "I really miss Grandma." I said, I know, Bubby, me too. I miss Grandma too. Every day of my life, I think about her every day. And he says, "Okay." And then he just went back to eating his watermelon. Sat in a chair, all snuggled up to me. We were watching cartoons, something. I think it was Trolls. The cartoon Trolls. I think it was Trolls. Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't keep track of the...
I don't know either. I don't know what's cool and what isn't. But it was just that heart to heart that I had with a 4-year-old, a toddler.
Yeah.
And I was just, sitting in the chair minding my business, and he just crawled up into the chair, sat on my lap, snuggled up to me, and started eating his watermelon. And we had a quick little discussion about his grandma, my Aunt Rhonda. I think so. He was just little, but I think he knows. Like, I'm sure he's talked to Matt about Rhonda being gone, and
Get her grandpa.
yeah, because Uncle Tim talks about her. I mean, you don't just shut that off. I mean, they were married for 30 years.
Yeah.
You just 32 years actually, to be exact. You don't just turn that off. That's you share children and grandchildren with this person who passed away. I mean, it's a family, I mean, you don't just forget about it. But it was very kind of sad, but it was kind of heartwarming at the same time, just to have that discussion about Aunt Rhonda. And when he asked me, he says, "Do you miss her?" Yeah. Every day of my life, I miss my Aunt Rhonda. I miss your grandma terribly. And then the conversation kind of trailed off. He says, "Well, how was my grandma was your aunt?" I said, "Yeah." And I had to explain to him that Grandpa Tim and my dad are brothers, and okay. And then he got up and ran off and went and played with the other kids. And I sat in the chair, and I just kind of looked at the wall, looking at Rhonda's picture, and see what you're doing to your grandkids. Your grandkids think about you, And I think about her. And I was, I'm her nephew by marriage, but
I miss the talks
I miss her.
I used to have.
I miss her a lot. I miss Corey Van Horn. he had his problems, but who didn't? You know, who doesn't have the problem? I miss my Uncle Rick every day. I think about him every day. I miss Aunt Kathy and you know, my Uncle Bill and Uncle Willie and all these people I've lost. My mom has no brothers or sisters alive. Now it's just my mom. Her mom and dad are gone. All her brothers and sisters are gone. She's all by herself. You know, she doesn't have people to talk to, although she's got her kids. But it really just goes to show you how fragile and delicate life can be. And I'm going to end it on that note. Thank you so much for watching another installment of the Sunday Video Update. My name is Jared Fuller, a.k.a. Jared Bear. I'm glad you joined me again this week. And were there any final words that you wanted to add?
No, just stay safe out there. Peace out.
And I have been here for about an hour, a little over an hour and 10 minutes. So, much love to all of you. Have a wonderful week. Be safe, be healthy, wear your mask, wash your hands. Shouldn't have to tell you to do that. Most of you are grown. You should just already fucking know what to do. But just be safe out there. And there are 2 hurricanes hitting the southern coast of the United States, which is very, very unheard of. Like they're orbiting around each other.
Dad was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
It's really weird. 2 hurricanes at the same time about to pummel the southern coast of the United States. I have family in Louisiana. They're going to be affected by this, and my heart goes out to them, and I hope for the best. And if you're in the line of fire with these hurricanes, I'm thinking of you. And you know, any of you are free to email me at any time. By the way, my email address is in the About tab section of my YouTube channel. Don't hesitate to reach out. Email me if you have any questions about the content that I upload here, or if you have any comments, which I'm opening the floodgates of hell, potentially, but they're not all bad. So if you have anything you'd like to say to me directly, because the comment section is not available on my videos, but if there's something you would like to say to me, you can email me at the email address provided in the About tab section of this YouTube channel. And be sure to like, subscribe, and keep watching for more. Click on the bell when you get, because when you click on the bell, it will give you, actually be on this side down here, the bell. It'll alert you when new videos are uploaded to my channel. So on that note, I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Much love, and peace out. Take care.